With Manda Factor, I'm Bill Yeend.
Well, you've heard some pretty dire predictions about the possibility of flooding in the Green River Valley. The administrator of the Federal Emergency Management Agency is in Seattle today to tour the local office.
Craig Fugate on our KOMO Newsline right now. And what specifically are you and your FEMA representatives looking at along that river?
Well, yesterday we met with the governor and her emergency management team. You know, we've got three pieces of this. We have a dam that has last year had some weakening, and Corps of Engineers is having to do work, and that may result in increased risk of floods if heavy rains occur. And so we're supporting the governor. She works with local officials. First phase is if we have to do any evacuations in the right now threat environment. And then she's also working with the Weather Service and the Corps of Engineers on getting better warning, as well as what we can do in the short run while major repairs, which we know will take several years to complete, are done on the dam.
Have you seen a dam in this kind of condition elsewhere in the country? And if so, what has been the outcome during the rainy season?
Well, there's been several of these top dams. My example in Florida is actually Lake Okeechobee. The dike around it was also a area that they had to look at reduced water levels, and it's a balancing act as you get heavy rains, being able to get water discharged before you'd reach the point where you could have a catastrophic failure. And the problem is when you have to go to those increased discharge, that river cannot handle it without causing damaging floods. And so you oftentimes, it's a race of time, one, to deal with the emergency if you're going to face the flood threat, but two, the longer-term solution, which is really the Corps' area of how to look at that dam as far as what are going to be the long-term repairs.
Well, you bring up the issue of time, and sometimes these storms come along with very, very little notice. How quickly can FEMA help the state of Washington?
Well, again, our assistance with the governor is pretty much going to be supporting her as she works with the locals on search and rescue. And a lot of times when you're facing these kinds of threats, if we have something that's imminent, where we do have heavy rainfalls, we know that the Corps is going to be doing those releases. The governor doesn't have to wait for the damages to occur. She can request from the president an emergency declaration to support her efforts to head off a catastrophic disaster. So we work very closely. We have FEMA Region 10 here in Washington State. That's our primary point of coordination. And again, if we face something where we have the heavy rains and the Corps is going to have to do discharges, or there's a possibility that significant flooding will occur, we do not have to wait till a disaster strikes to provide that assistance, and the governor has the ability to request from the president an emergency declaration, which would provide direct federal assistance to her team.
We appreciate your time this morning. We'll keep everyone posted on your visit here with the governor and the situation with the Howard Hanson Dam. Thanks so much. Craig Fugate with FEMA.